So now we get to start building the candidate experience. And so what you're able to do is add intro videos and closing videos to this position. Really get your candidate engaged and get them to learn more about you and your organization. So it's very simple to add these videos. So you simply need to click add a video here. And you have two options. You can upload a video that maybe you've recorded previously or maybe you got from your marketing team, or you can record a video from whatever device that you're on. And once you add a video, it's going to include it in your library. So you can have a very lengthy list of videos that you've added. So I found one about an ice bucket challenge that you all did. So I'm going to go ahead and click that one. And for the closing video, the process is absolutely identical, but just keep in mind the intro videos and the closing video libraries do not mingle. So you're going to have two separate libraries here. And I found one from Jeff K, so I'm going to go ahead and choose that video. All right, so the next section is we get to start building this position by adding questions. So you have three different options here, but we're going to spend the most time on this top one that says new question. So let's start off with a question that we probably all ask at the very beginning of an interview. Why did you apply? So you have a couple of different options here. You can add a video for the candidate to respond to. And let's say this is maybe more of a customer service question and you have a video of an interaction that you want the candidate to respond to. You can add that here. Or you can record yourself actually asking the question. So you can say, hi, my name is Shannon, I'm your recruiter, and why did you apply for this position? It makes this process very personal for your candidate, and we highly recommend you do that. Another option is throwing up like a JPEG or a PDF file. So if you're maybe hiring an analyst and you want them to look at an Excel spreadsheet and tell you what's trending or what's going on with that sheet, you can certainly do that here as well. And then the other option is right over here to the left where you see a link. You can insert a link to a website. And so if you do that, all you have to do is put in the link here and click OK. The candidate can click on that. It'll open a new page for them to go look at that website, and then they can come right back into this interview and answer. So they won't lose their place if you do that. Now if we scroll down here a little bit, you have your options on how you want the candidate to respond to your question. There's actually 4 different ways. You have essay, multiple choice, multiple selection, and then video. So this question is going to be a video response. And so the prep time is configurable, so you can give your candidate as much prep time as you want. And prep time is that time they have to read the question and formulate an answer before they start to respond to it. It defaults in at 30 seconds. It's totally adequate. Most people leave it 30 seconds, but if you want to change it, obviously that option is available to you. Now to the right, on response time, same thing. It defaults in at 3 minutes, and we do find that most candidates reply within 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. But it's totally configurable. So if you want to change this, maybe if it's a lengthier question, you want to give them a little bit more time, you can do that, or you can just leave it 3 minutes. So this is our first question. We're obviously going to be adding more, so I'm going to go ahead and click Save and add another here. So I'm going to go up here to add another question, and we're going to ask, the next one will be, what days of the week can you work? Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the multiple selection and multiple choice. So multiple choice, you're going to give your candidate a bank of answers they get to pick from. And I'm just going to abbreviate a couple days of the week here. So with multiple choice, they can pick one of these that they can do, and you can even define the correct answer if you want to. So let's just say I'm going to pick Tuesday. That's going to be the right answer. And then on response time, it defaults in at no time limit, but if you do want to put a time limit on response time, simply unclick that, and it's going to default in at that 3 minutes. Now the difference between multiple choice and multiple selection is with multiple selection, you can give your candidate the same bank of answers, but they get to pick more than one. So multiple choice is just one, multiple selection is more than one. And again, you can add as many as you want to, so you can add all the days of the week or however many options you need. And it's going to default in no time limit. And this is our second question, so we're going to add one more. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save and add another. So I'm going to go back up here to New Question. So for this one, we're going to do an essay response. So we're going to say, give us your best tweet. Okay, so for essay response, you can limit the amount of characters your candidates have to reply. So obviously we're going to put 140 here because with Twitter, that's all you get. And then we do have the option here of defaulting text in. Not really appropriate for this question. However, you can put text in here if you want somebody, find out somebody's editing skills, or you can say, here's a writing sample, what do you think of it? Something like that. So it's a good way to get a different perspective on your candidate. And again, with the response time, this is going to default in no time limit, but if you did want a time limit, simply unclick that box. So let's go ahead and click save, because that's going to be our last question. So here are the questions we came up with. And you have several different options here. So let's say you like the questions, but you don't necessarily like the order. You can simply change them just by doing this, okay? And then the other options you see here to the right under actions. If you notice that you have a typo here, it's very easy to fix. Just select this pencil that says edit question, select that and you can fix it. Or if you want to get rid of one altogether, click the X and it'll delete it. So let's say that we've corrected everything, we were happy with how this looks. You can save this as a template so you can use it again. So we're going to say this is a test template 10. So now if I go back over here to add questions, we spent a lot of time on the new question, but if we select this one where it says from question template, here's this template that we just created. So all I'd have to do if I wanted to use this was click add these questions and it'll put them right in here. Now the other option was that bottom one where it said from a previous position. So if I selected this from a previous position, I could select here. Then all I'd have to do would be to click add these questions and it would add all these questions to this new position. And remember, if you do add them from a template or from a previous position, it's going to list them here and it will still give me the option to edit and to delete. So you can still modify those even though you're taking them from a template or from a previous position. So I'm happy with this position, so I'm going to go ahead and click save. So on this next screen, there's a few things I want to point out here. Number one, if you forgot to click on this open view, you can always come back and get it at any time. And then again, if we wanted to change our no due date, say we wanted to put a due date on here or extend that date, you can always change that at a later time. One of the most important things on here that's going to help you out a lot is this create schedule reminders. So if I were to hit this button, what this is going to do is you're going to tell HireVue to send out reminders to your candidates to take this interview. And this is another item, if you don't do it now at the position set up, you could always do it at a later time. So don't think that if you forget to do it now, this opportunity is gone, because it's not. So it's always going to start off with the date that you created the position or created the schedule reminder. And everything in these boxes is configurable. So the way it defaults in is it's going to remind your candidate every 3 days with a maximum of 2 reminders to take this interview. And they will not be sent a reminder if it's been less than 2 days since the original invitation. And what's really neat about this is you're going to be setting up these schedule reminders per position. So you can actually add a custom message down here saying something to the effect of, "Hi, my name is Shannon, I'm your recruiter, and we can't wait to see your interview for this test position." So you can reference the position the candidate is replying to. And again, that just makes this process very personal for your candidate. So we definitely recommend you do that. So I'm going to go ahead and click cancel here. So now it's time to start inviting some candidates. And you have 2 ways to do it. You can upload candidates in bulk, and you can do up to 1,000 at one time. So all you need to do is put your candidates on an Excel sheet, and it has to look just like this. So you have to have a header that says first, last, email, and then phone. And you do not need the phone number here, you just need that header. And then you save it as a CSV file and simply upload it. Now the other option is to add candidates one by one, which is what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and put this candidate's information in. And again, all you need is first name, last name, email address. And you have the option to add the phone number or a website. You can upload a resume or any kind of document. Not necessary. This really is all the information that you need. And if you're going to add more than one person, you would select save and add another. If not, just select save. Now your candidate just got sent this email, the invitation to take the position or to take the interview. So now we're just going to wait on them to do it.